Hey, Michelle.
Hey, David.
How's it going?
It's going.
That's good.
Going.
Welcome, everybody, to this bonus episode of Flicker Effect. It has been a while.
I mean, like two Sundays.
No,
I think
I think it's been more than that. Hasn't it? I feel like it's been a while since, unfortunately, we've gotten a show out there.
Yes. Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe it has only been. It feels like it's been longer than it probably has.
There's been things.
There's been things. So just get right into it. The reason we're only doing a bonus episode, the reason it's only two of us, the reason it's been a little while since we've posted anything. I mean, there's a couple reasons. The big one lately, though, is that we live in Florida and we live in Orlando, and we had a hurricane. Little Miss Hurricane Irma came through recently.
She's such a little bitch.
A week ago, to be exact. A week ago, as of right now.
Technically, because today's a Sunday the 17th.
We're recording this Sunday night the 17th. We have the Emmys on in the background here. We have it muted. And yeah, it was about exactly a week ago right now that we were like really starting to feel it.
Yeah, no, it really was.
Yeah. So, and then the week before that we weren't around because you and I were at DragonCon.
Atlanta.
Up in Atlanta. Pretty much starting to hear the first bits of information about Hurricane Irma while we were up there. You know, hey, look, there's a hurricane out there in the Atlantic that looks like it's headed right for our home state. That'll be fun to go home to.
Yeah, it was interesting because like I was at the resort pool. I'm there in the hotel. I'm hanging out in the pool, having a good little morning, and then I'm walking through the lobby and I see like on like Good Morning America or wherever the hell it was in the morning, whatever morning show. I see this little thing. I'm like, oh, look at that. There's a hurricane on the Atlantic. Oh, maybe that could be a thing for us maybe next weekend. We'll see what happens.
Nice.
And I remember like saying it to you. You're like, oh, hurricane, huh? And I'm like, yeah, apparently there's a thing in the Atlantic.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of it yet. And then that whole rest of the weekend, I kept like checking the tracks. By the way, yeah, like in the background here, I see we're missing a Westworld segment on the Emmys.
I see that. We're going to have to watch that.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it later. Sorry.
Distractions.
Yeah, the rest of the whole weekend at DragonCon, I'd occasionally check like the hurricane tracks and go, yeah, that's going to be a beast of a hurricane.
Yeah.
And yeah, we came back. I remember Tuesday morning at work because we drove back Monday on Labor Day.
Right.
And I get to work on Tuesday morning, and then it's like my first like exposure to being back in Orlando, and that's all everyone could talk about was the hurricane. And I'm like, God damn, what the hell's happening? What did we come home to?
I mean, like, I got up Tuesday morning in no particular hurry, and I started watching. I turned on the TV, and it wound up just being like local TV news. And I'm realizing I'm like 10, 15 minutes into watching it, and they haven't changed topics.
Right.
And they're talking about water running out in stores. And I'm like, wait. Today is Tuesday. You're talking about a storm that's going to come Sunday night, Monday morning, basically 6 days from now. And we're out of water in the entire city of Orlando. No, we are not. It's 9 in the morning.
I've grown up in Florida. I'm from here. I was born in Orlando. I've lived here almost my whole life. You know, I lived in California for a little bit, New York for a little bit. But I've been through some hurricanes. I've never seen people prepare so early for a hurricane in my life.
So then, like, I'm like, I guess I'll go on the hunt for water. It was like the end of days out there. I mean, not talking like, the zombie apocalypse is coming. It was the end of time itself was coming in Orlando. You would have thought. I mean, I was almost ready to see people like start beating people down in parking lots for water. It was insanity. 3 hours it took me to wind up with like a couple of like liters of water.
Yeah, it was days out that people were running out, making a run on gas stations to get gas, and it was crazy around here. I mean, it was a combination of things. Irma was a beast of a hurricane out when it was really out in the Atlantic and hadn't hit anything yet. And even when it did, when it first started hitting the Caribbean, like it was a Cat 5, and it was a huge Cat 5.
Yeah.
that combined with the fact that Harvey had just hit Houston,
Devastated so much of Texas.
So that
yeah.
was really fresh in everyone's mind.
It was.
So as soon as Irma popped up, and I think everyone was like, "Hey, this is going to be a big threat," no one wasted any fucking time.
No, they did not. They jumped on it.
They jumped on the plywood. They jumped on all the supplies. Like
I'm extremely
nuts.
impressed in the people of Florida. We took this extremely seriously, and I think it was overall it was good. It was done well. I mean, maybe not done well. It was done. It was horrible what was happening. But I will say is that I feel like there was less property damages in my driving around. Like it was mostly just trees. But as far as like, I don't know. I just feel like everybody prepped. Everybody was ready. They were on their game for this because everybody got out and shopped. Like it was literally the second coming of Christ. Like it was. You thought that like. The world was coming to an end. We were hoping the savior was going to show up, and yet we all went, nope, he's not coming. Let's start shopping for things.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane out there.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's the first time I've ever boarded up windows in Orlando. I mean, growing up in Orlando, you're far enough inland that for the most part, hurricanes are like, yeah, you take them seriously, but you pretty much never really need to evacuate. And I've never boarded up windows in Orlando. Like that's something that people do in the coast. That's something people do in South Florida. I don't have to do that shit.
But we were thinking we were going to get like a Cat 4 winds, and we got over Cat 2 winds. That was insane.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But it worked out fine. You know, everyone was safe. We wrote it out over at our house. And we lost power stupid early. That was frustrating.
How about that electricity?
Yeah. The funny thing is basically it's like you're going to lose power. Especially
we knew it was going to happen.
Especially in my neighborhood. We live in an older neighborhood. All overhead power lines in our neighborhood. A lot of big old trees in our neighborhood. You go into a hurricane like this and you're just like, hey, by the way, we're losing power. We know this. It's not going to be a surprise.
I mean, it was happening. It was really more a matter of, all right, who's got 2 a.m. and who's gambling on midnight? Like it was really more, what time is this happening?
The frustrating thing was though that, you expect to lose it like right in the thick of the hurricane.
Or an hour before maybe.
And then you're not going to get it for a while afterwards. No, so the hurricane didn't hit until Sunday night. It was 2 p.m. on Sunday when it was already raining, but there was really no winds yet. It was just really just rain. And we were just sitting down to be like, okay, let's find a way to kill time and entertain one of the kids. You know, the kids are stuck in the house all day. We'll play a board game. We start sitting down to play a board game at 2 p.m. and the power goes out. And we all look at each other. I'm waiting for it to pop right back on like it does a lot of times.
Right.
But
yes.
Nope, the power's just out.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I go ahead and drive down the street because, again, it's not windy yet. You can totally just drive around. It's fine. And a neighbor's gigantic tree had fallen on our power lines. and part of us was like, well, maybe it's early enough that the utility company will go ahead and sit on a line crew. You know, there's really no winds yet.
I know, we were super optimistic.
Like, oh, come on. Maybe we could get this fixed before the hurricane hits.
Super naive.
Totally did not happen. And it was, as of this recording, so tonight we all went out to dinner and swung by the house on the way back here to your place where we are now, Michelle.
I know, this is exciting. This is the first time we're recording
we're
at my
recording
house.
at your place.
This is so exciting. We're at my house.
But we swung by the house right before we came here, and sure enough, now we have power.
Yeah, I know.
I feel bad. The kids have been staying at my parents' all week because my parents only lost power for like 24 hours. So lucky for them, they've had power. So at least the kids have been staying over there where there's air conditioning. And they're already over there tonight. But then, later tonight we found out we had power.
I mean, that was almost like 8 o'clock at night tonight, honest to God. Jesus. But so basically, you've been without power for over 7 days.
Just over exactly a week, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
insane.
Yeah, it's been fun.
And you know what?
Really.
The thing was crazy. So like Tuesday, because I lost power too at my little house. Mm-hmm. Tuesday, it was like we were settling in. At the end of the night Tuesday, I was like, okay, I need to find ice. Time to refresh the cooler. It's melted. Trying to save milk. Trying to save beer. The staples of my life.
Exactly.
Right.
The important things.
And water too. I'm trying to keep water, beer, and milk cold. These are my staples that I cannot survive without. And my coffee creamer. God bless it. Had to have my coffee creamer. So I'm trying to save my staples. I'm like, I'm going to go look for ice. And about an hour into looking for ice, I'm realizing I'm officially in the Hunger Games. I didn't realize it, but I was. And I went to, I don't even freaking know how many stores. And I was just about to give up all hope. And a glimmer, something popped in my head and said, no. It looks like all the fast food restaurants are without power, but Burger King has power.
Burger King.
You should stop in at Burger King.
Get yourself a Whopper.
Maybe get your dinner. It is 7:30 in the evening. Get yourself some food.
Why not?
So for funsies, I asked them, "Are you selling ice?" And the woman replies to me, and I shit you not, she goes, "No, we're not selling ice." I was like, "It's okay. I get that." She goes, "We're giving it away."
Giving ice. That's unheard of.
Mind you, I just spent an hour playing Hunger Games out in central Orlando,
Right.
trying to find ice, and this woman's literally giving away bags of ice. So,
That was a nice find.
dude, she says that, I'm like, well, Lynn, hook me up with a burger, because
You know what? I wasn't gonna buy food from you, but now I am.
I'm now officially a patron of this Burger King. That is
Right.
happening. So yeah, so that was pretty spectacular. But I will say that over the next few days, because I still didn't get power back for like a couple more days. Anytime you go look for ice, yeah, I mean, it was the hottest commodity in this state. And then right after it was just regular old water. So basically you had frozen water and then regular water. Two hottest freaking commodities in this entire state of Florida for a week. It was insane.
And then, I mean, for me, my biggest fight this week was, like I mentioned earlier, the plywood thing. Because, like, I went back and forth all week. I was like, all right, this is a huge hurricane. And, you know, you think about things flying around. I'm like, I really don't want to have broken windows. And then you're in the middle of a hurricane and winds are flying into your house. Like, but I'm like, oh, man, I'm bored out the windows. This is a pain in the ass. I don't really want to do this. But then it got to the point where it was like the tracks were, it was getting closer and the tracks become more secure into what's going to happen. And you're like,
And they were saying winds in the category 4 or category 5. Like that's serious stuff, man.
So I definitely got to the point as a homeowner now that I'm like, God damn it, I really should board up at least some of these windows, especially we all decided, okay, we're going to sleep in the living room because it's the most central room in the house, really, at least the back of the living room. And there's only one big window at the very front of this long living room. So I'm like, at least I'll get that one boarded so that we're sleeping in the room. We feel secure in that room. And luckily I was able to board some others too. But getting plywood was, by the time I waited to really jump on that bandwagon, it was too late. Like, I managed to buy some expensive stuff, which was great. It was nice, thick, strong plywood. So I mean, it was good stuff. But
some heavy stuff.
Yeah, it was tough at that point. Everybody was already out. People were buying like the stupidest stuff to board their windows up with because they had no choices. Like, I mean, I guess I don't blame them. You're just like, well, it's better than nothing, right? I'll put insulation over my windows.
My favorite is watching people put tape in a crisscross pattern across their clear windows.
Yeah.
I just look at them and I go, God, you're one of those people.
That's the comment every year.
So stupid.
You get more than half of the people in the city going, don't tape this. The taping in the windows thing. What the hell are you doing? But you still get people that do it. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, it's entertaining to watch.
Thinking that it'll hold their windows together if they crack or something. Come on.
I don't know.
No, really, what you're left doing is trying to get all of that. You're just pouring Goo Gone on your windows to get all the sticky stuff off. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we've been doing. We've been playing.
It was prep for hurricane, ride out hurricane, and then it's been
this whole week has just
post hurricane.
It's been crazy. Like, I mean, finally, I feel like this week we're going to settle into back into normalcy for the most part. We're gonna have to.
Just got electricity an hour ago.
Yeah, we just got electricity tonight. Now we get to restock our fridge completely because we lost most of the stuff that didn't make it into a cooler. And yeah, it's been a weird week. It's been a weird September. I mean, that pretty much that hurricane killed, I feel like, 2 weeks of September. And now I feel like
it was all consuming when we came back from Atlanta.
It was completely all consuming.
It was all consuming for like 4 or 5 days before. And it's literally been all consuming ever since. And I feel like today was the first day I actually kind of got to breathe a little bit. And I'm like, I'm not hunting down ice. I'm not helping people wash their clothing. I'm not helping people like move through life to make life a possibility. Just everyday like stuff that you do. You
Yeah.
know, like it was almost a return to normalcy for the first time in, like what, 10 days, 12
Yeah.
days. It's insane. And the thing is while it was what it was, it was rough because we just came back from DragonCon and we were on such a high, and we had a lovely vacation-ish thing, if you want to call it a vacation, I guess is the best way to call it. But I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's really exhausting. You don't sleep a lot, but it's a lot of fun. And we all were like, yeah, this is great. We'll have a nice day to recover, kind of, and ease into it. And there was no freaking easing into anything. We came back and we were not just like, oh, hey, it's reality. I feel like I got just bitch slapped by reality when we showed up in Orlando. Like, it was just such a sucker punch to the face.
Because it was just immediate stress.
It was. Immediately.
Coming back to just like, oh God, what is happening now? I got to do all this. And
oh my God.
Yeah,
Anyways.
It was immediate, like, God, why did I ever leave Atlanta? We should have just stayed up there.
It really, I was almost like, why did we come back?
Let's get the kids brought up to us in Atlanta. We're just going to ride things out up here. We should have,
We should have said. Anyways. So that was Hurricane Irma.
That was Hurricane Irma. Yeah. The weekend before that, we were in Atlanta for DragonCon, which was great. I mean, it's DragonCon is definitely not the kind of con, like we've said before, like Comic-Con, where we report on Comic-Con, and we've been to Comic-Con the past couple of years as press, and there's so much stuff, news to talk about. There's not a lot of news that comes out of DragonCon. It's more just, it's a lot of fun. Though there was the one panel that we went to.
I was gonna say the one panel we went to
actually
all weekend
did have news.
Actually had news. It was actually a huge press release, and it was pretty unprecedented for what we saw.
Yeah, we went to the Alton Brown panel. And for those who are not familiar,
Good Eats. It was mostly Good Eats.
Yeah, for those who are not familiar with him, he's the host of Good Eats, or was the host of Good Eats.
Right.
He also does what the
Iron Chef.
Iron Chef, sorry.
He specializes in food, and he's also a big science geek. He's a huge science geek, I should say, and he's a huge history geek. He's a big history buff.
So he had a panel, and it was more of a Good Eats panel, especially because it wasn't just him. I mean, he was there and hosting it for the most part, but he had like the whole like cast of Good Eats on there, which I didn't even know that was going to happen when I went into it, and it was a great panel. I always loved Good Eats, and it's funny. He talked about this too, about that's the kind of show that would reach out to people who don't cook, and I don't cook. It's just not my thing. It's always been something, and I'm like, I wish I was good at cooking, and I'm sure I could be if I wanted to try. I don't know. I've never gotten into cooking, but whenever I've watched Good Eats, that show would make me want to cook, and
well, because that's fun. It's educational, and it really gives you a good basis for very I don't want to say basic food. I get staples, staple food that exists in your life that you're like, I'm interested in learning more about this. This is how you really should make
bacon. This is how you really should make an omelet. This is
right. Yes.
That kind of stuff. So I was definitely interested to check out the panel, and the panel was great. And at the end of the panel, they announced that the show's coming back. I forget what it's going to be called. It's not just going to be called Good Eats. It's like Return.
It was Good Eats Returns, or Good Eats
Return of Good Eats, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's going to be available on Food Network, but there's going to be more content on their online.
That's what it sounded like. Yeah,
if I remember
correctly. Which is cool. I like it. I'm excited. You know what we should do? We should, because we recorded that moment when he announced it at the panel. Yeah. We should put that on our Instagram.
Yeah, we should. We never did. He kind of told everybody, hey, whip out your phones. I'm going to make this announcement. I want everyone to post it. So
I mean, and I will say for Alton Brown, that's a big announcement.
Yeah,
that was a big thing. It was pretty huge. Return of this new TV show. That's his very first con panel he's ever done, ever. That's the first con he's ever been to. And I will say, because it's kind of a geeky show and kind of a geeky forum, it fit. As weird as it is to talk about a show about food, being at DragonCon, kind of a nerd and geek world thing, it fit because he is in that realm in a way, because it's right. No, it worked out really well. It was fun. It was a good time.
It was a good time, but that was sadly the only panel I went to. Actually, it might be one more than last year. I think last year at DragonCon I didn't go to a single panel. but DragonCon is, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of
It
a big
is.
party.
Costumes
It
were
is
awesome this year.
There's cosplay at every con, of
Oh.
course, but cosplay at DragonCon
It's another
takes
level.
it to another level. It's good times. Again, I've said it a million times. I highly recommend it to anybody. And anybody who's even thinking about going to DragonCon, I will say right now, your concern is not, oh, can I get a badge? No, your concern is, oh, can I get a hotel room?
Yes.
Getting a badge will not be a problem. At this point, I don't think, actually, I know that they have never capped attendance at DragonCon. They've never needed to. I don't know at what point they would need to cut off badge sales, but it hasn't
Right.
happened yet. But if you want to stay in one of the host hotels, which I highly recommend, I mean, sure, you could stay at any hotel in Atlanta and just go to the con every day,
Oh,
but
totally.
stay in a host hotel if at all possible.
Oh, super worth it. It's so much fun. Oh my god.
And that is difficult. In fact, I mean, I don't know, the Westin went on sale like the last day of con.
Monday. It went on sale on Monday,
And
on
then
Labor Day.
I think the Hyatt and the Legacy, they do or the Hyatt and the Hilton do Legacy bookings. So if they're not already booked up, they probably will be very quickly because so many people that were here this year are going to have already booked for next year.
Right.
I don't know about the Sheraton, and the Marriott is always the last. They don't go on sale until October, which is where we stayed. But yeah, that's the thing that if you're even thinking about it, go to the DragonCon website right now, look into how to get a host hotel room, figure out how you're going to make that happen.
Yeah. It's a good time though, dude. It's super worth it. Like, yeah, no, it's just so much fun. And I'm really glad because like last year I was there for literally a day. Well, basically a day and a half. And well, no, I guess it was almost 2 days. Anyways, so I was there for such a quick time, and I didn't have a costume. And you could totally go to DragonCon, no costumes, plain clothing,
Right.
and you'll still have a ball of time. It's
Yeah, absolutely.
amazing. I will say though, this year having some costumes to wear to some of the parties and do other things and to walk around the one day in our group costume we did, it was a ton of fun. It really was. I had a really good time doing that. It was nice.
And then, yeah, we talked a little bit about our group costume on the last episode. So yeah, we did a Ready Player One costume.
Which was on point. On point.
It was good. But it's funny because, don't get me wrong, you can go to DragonCon and wear probably the most obscure, like, kind of pop culture reference, and you might feel like, man, no one's going to get this shit. But at DragonCon, it's somebody. You're going to come across someone who's going to totally understand what that is. Now, Ready Player One, it's funny because, like, it's big right now, even though really we only have the book. The movie's not out yet. The movie doesn't come out, I think, until March. I know it's in the spring, and I'm pretty sure it's
End
March.
of March.
So the trailer was hugely popular, obviously. A lot of people have read that book, especially the kind of people that go to DragonCon. And don't get me wrong, I fully expected that we were going to wear this costume and people were going to we weren't going to get a lot of people going, oh my God, I know what that is. But I think, expected a little more. I'm like, come on, these are the kind of people that would get this, right? But for the most part, we were a year early.
we were literally 6 months too early.
Yeah, I
is
mean, I
what
feel like we wear
happens.
that costume next year at DragonCon after the film is out.
Right.
It will be probably a very different experience, but we definitely had some people that got it.
I feel like the people that got it, like they got it. They're like, "Oh my God, Ready Player One! That's so awesome!" And we had it. The people that got it wanted our photo. Like,
Right.
they really enjoyed it. There were people that were really down with it. And then what was interesting was there are people that were like, "There's something about this. Why do I know this? Why do I know this?" And I'd be like, "Ready Player One." They're like, "Oh my God, I love that book. Oh my God, you look so good." Like, it would click with them. Like, they kind of knew it, but they just couldn't quite put their finger on it.
Right.
So I felt like it was kind of a mixture. But yeah, I was hopeful that maybe a few more people would have understood the costume a little more. And at the same time, like, I'm okay with the fact that it wasn't like as known as maybe we had hoped it would have been.
Yeah, I was fine with it. It wasn't like I was expecting all these photos or anything, but no, it was fun to wear. It was a nice costume in that we didn't have to wear anything other than just our regular clothes.
I know, we were just wearing jeans and t-shirt and that harness.
And just put on the whole Oasis harness that we had on.
You did a really good job. It was really good. It was
Thank you.
lightweight. It was comfortable. Like, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
But yeah, that was our DragonCon. We're hoping next weekend we should get back into our regular swing of things with the show.
Yeah. Oh, you mean watching movies?
I know we're gonna watch stuff. I haven't seen shit. I am so
We're
out
gonna
of
go
touch.
see movies. I can't even fathom that right now.
I haven't seen it. I'm dying to see Mother purely
Yes.
because of all this drama around it and how people are reacting to the movie. I'm like, dude, I gotta see this.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm gonna like it, and at this point, I almost don't even care. I just want to know what is.
You want to know what's surrounding
yeah.
this drama. I know. I agree. All this talk about it's really piqued my interest.
And Darren Aronofsky, who directed it, he's definitely a director that is kind of hit or miss. He's got stuff that I love and other stuff that I'm like, I don't know.
No. Yeah.
So yeah, I got to see that. I haven't seen it. I mean, like we just said, with the 2 weeks of Irma and then DragonCon before that, and I was getting costumes ready before DragonCon. I've been so out of touch with watching stuff.
It has been a month. I mean, there was the week before DragonCon for prep, the actual DragonCon. Then we came back and then we were thrown into Irma chaos. So yeah, it's been like 4 weeks of just, I don't know, dude. It's just been insane. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. And
It's
I feel
funny.
like
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just now recouping, honest to God.
It's funny that I almost forgot that Inhumans already hit IMAX theaters, and
Oh my God, that's jeez.
yeah, that's already been out there, Michelle. And I'm curious. I haven't asked Bobby about it. I'm guessing he saw it. I don't know. Maybe he didn't bother, and maybe he's just waiting for it to show on ABC. But I know it's been out there, and I know it's been a huge flop, as I think we expected based off the stuff we had seen for it at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
God, it looks terrible, which is so disappointing again, because I do like that comic book, and I was excited about the possibility of a movie, which is now this instead. And God, it just looks like shit.
Yeah, it looks horrible.
Yeah, a lot has happened, and I haven't seen anything. Just been so out of touch again with DragonCon, and then the hurricane, and there's another hurricane out there now, Maria.
I know.
Which I don't know. It's far enough out that it seems like, of course, all of the meteorologists are saying it's too early to even know if it's going to hit the U.S. But still, it's like you look at the track of it, and you're like, I mean, it could.
Well, they all could.
They all could. I mean, but
Yeah.
it seems like the general consensus though around this one is that maybe it won't. I don't know, but.
Well, and even then, though, I don't think this one's tracking as strongly as.
It's definitely not as it
Irma
just became a
was.
hurricane, I think, today.
Right.
It was a tropical storm.
I mean, Irma. Like when I, like I said, I saw it in the lobby of the hotel on the TV and on the projection screen. And I was like, "Huh, Cat 5 out in the Atlantic, huh? How about that?"
And when we say
I was
Cat,
like, holy cat!
when we say Cat 5, there is no Cat 6 right now. If there were a Cat 6, it would be one. Because I think it was the peak winds of a Cat 5. Irma went beyond that.
Yes.
It's just there is no Cat 6.
So basically, it was like a cyclone of hell coming towards us.
Pretty much.
And so, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, like, I'm walking through the lobby and I see this projection and I see the words Category 5 across the screen in the Atlantic. And I was like, holy like, those are words I've never seen as a Floridian. So I immediately was like, whoa, hello.
Yeah.
Like it caught, I literally stopped walking in my step. I was walking and I came to a dead stop. I was staring at the screen. So, I mean, yeah, it was serious even in Atlanta, like realizing, oh my God, that is not a joke. That is not a laughing matter. It's not something you take lightly.
No.
In any way, shape, or form. And I mean, yeah, I have to say, like, the islands got beaten, all of them. The British and American Virgin Islands, our Florida Keys, God, the Keys got it hard. The Key West didn't do great, but Marathon and what was it, Isla Morada, they are in rough shape. So yeah, I mean, I don't know really where to donate money, but if anybody wants to, please donate money to some funds for the Irma restoration, because there's definitely a lot of the islands they're hurting bad.
Yeah, I mean, we can bitch and complain about the fact that we didn't have power for a week all we want, and trust me, it sucked. But God, it's nothing compared to what everyone in the Keys are going through.
Yeah,
and
it's
obviously everyone
rough.
out in the Bahamas, and the thing is, we're talking about Maria and how it doesn't really seem like it's going to hit Florida, but it's about to hit the Leeward Islands, and a lot of those same islands that just went through Irma are about to get hit by Maria right now. So Yeah, it's terrible.
But yeah, that's basically been our September, and it's only the 17th.
Yeah,
Hey!
that's been our September. Oh, we just kind of wanted to post this since it's been a little while since we've been able to do anything, and we weren't really able to do a regular show this weekend.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I just got my power back. Turns out like an hour ago, but I still don't have internet at home, so
That's right, you don't have internet.
we couldn't. Trying to work out doing a show
Internet.
with Bobby and Yasha wasn't going to really work out, so at least we wanted to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully next weekend we'll do the normal thing.
But we're gonna see like movies and TV shows.
Yeah, I guess we should probably.
Are we gonna do that?
Probably watch it. I mean, other than the Emmys right now.
You know, it's gonna be super exciting, and this is my moment that I'm super excited for you.
For me?
You're gonna go to a movie theater and you're gonna sit down for this first couple minutes before, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, it's Maria Menounos! I miss her so much."
Does she still do those things?
She does.
The first look, is that what it's called?
Well, I think maybe she took a little break with her health situation recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know, dude. I know it. You're gonna be like, "Oh my God, there's Maria. I missed
Maria,
her
I
so
missed you.
much.
It's been so long.
I missed you."
And yet this is the same recording of you doing this that I saw when I was last year a month
But it's
ago.
refreshing. It's gonna feel like going back home for you. You're gonna be so happy. You're like, I'm in a movie theater.
This is what a movie theater smells like.
Oh, all memories. It
Yeah.
all flood back to you. You're gonna feel like you're in a second home.
I know there's a lot of other movies I've missed, but for some reason right now the only two I'm like thinking of are It and Mother that I want to see.
Yeah, I really want to see Mother, and like I said, so much of it is because I'm just curious about all this talk about this going on around it. But I want to see Mother, and God help me, I want to see this
that Reese Witherspoon movie.
the Reese Witherspoon chick movie. Was that Home Again or something?
We don't
like
know.
that?
We just call it the Reese
We
Witherspoon.
just call it the Reese Witherspoon
chick flick.
chick flick that's out. I kind of want to see it, dude.
Is that RuPaul on the screen? Sorry,
Are you actually watching the Emmy right now?
It's on. I'm not real.
Not the Emmys. What are we watching?
Yeah, we're watching the Emmys.
Yeah, the Emmys. That's right. That's what's on. Wow, that's happening. Look at that. Anyways, so yeah, Emmys. Woot. I've seen from what I've caught out of the corner of my eye. There's been some good wins. I will say. I've been watching some of it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. No, I've
hey.
been trying to pay attention to who wins what here.
Like Skarsgård got up there for Big Little Lies.
Big
I was
Little
like,
Lies.
yes.
It's funny. The very first award, I couldn't disagree with you guys more. I thought John Lithgow totally deserved that award. He was
whatever.
amazing in The Crown.
He was, but when I look at all the other nominations that he was up against, I look at those nominees and I was like, no way. I
think
mean,
you're
John
nuts.
Lithgow did great,
He
but
did.
Jesus, there were some other people that did spectacularly well.
I fully admit. I mean, Adriel was saying this. My wife is sitting right here on the couch as we're recording this. I think it's the first time we've had an audience member.
I think so too.
And she was saying, like, man, this is tough. Like, look at all these nominees, and it was.
It was a serious category.
That was a hardcore category,
dude.
especially considering it was the very first award. Like, I agree, but I had to say, like, before they even announced who it was, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I feel like it should be a Lithgow, but he's not going to get this. It's going to be somebody from a more popular show. I think he totally deserved it.
Do you know how off the game we are? We don't have printed up ballots right now.
I don't think I've ever done printed out ballots for the Emmys.
Hello.
I know you would. I mean, I watch the Emmys, but there's some years where I haven't even bothered watching the Emmys. I don't know. It's not like the Oscars for me or Golden
Right.
Globes that I watch those every year.
Right. Well, and like honestly, like usually I watch the Emmys with my other movie nerd friend.
Yeah.
And so she and I'll watch them at her place. And we wind up watching Golden Globes we coin toss that, and we usually watch the Oscars at my house.
Right.
But we do ballots for all of them because we're just that nerdy.
Yeah.
And
I'm just
I would
historically.
have totally lost that category completely. Like there's no way. I will say though, the episode for director of a series or director of an episode in a series that Donald Glover got
won.
it.
Yeah.
I will agree. And I say that, and Veep was nominated for 3 of their episodes. But no,
Veep
that's
was nominated for
awesome.
3 and Silicon Valley for 2.
And then he got
the one non-HBO show got it.
for Atlanta. Yeah, exactly. That's cool. And Kate McKinnon won.
Yeah.
And she was super like emo. Like she was trying to hold it together. It was really cute. God bless you, Kate McKinnon.
They're
We
doing
love you.
writing for a variety series right now. This should be interesting,
Oh,
actually.
yeah, Late Night with Seth Meyers.
And then before this was Last Call with John Oliver.
Was it? And of course, the host of the show.
The host of the show,
is
Stephen Colbert. Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
We should do an episode for these kind of award shows, and we just talk like we're like on Twitter or something. We should do that. Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. So what's going to get it? We'll do this as the one award that we're doing during the podcast, and then we'll wrap this up.
Okay, that was it.
I'm going to go with John Oliver.
I don't know. SNL was pretty good. They had a lot of material.
We can't hear what they're saying right now, so we're waiting for them to put it on the screen.
See who it is on the screen.
Yes, I got it.
You got it. Oh my God. Good job, you. Damn.
Especially because he does those segments that are like 20 minutes long.
No, he does.
That
he does.
Almost always are trending on YouTube because
totally
they post
does.
all their stuff on YouTube.
Yeah. And he nails it. He nails it almost every week.
Anyway, so we'll wrap this up. This has been nice, and yeah, again, hopefully we get back to into the normal swing of things next week.
Yes,
and
with some box office numbers and some movies and some
that we've seen,
news.
and talk about some news. And
who has the game that we're playing where we challenge each other? Who's got the new challenge?
I do.
Oh, it's you.
I remember I had to watch Sleepwalkers, right?
You better get on that, dude.
I know. I got to watch that this week.
You better get on that. Sleepwalkers.
And then I think as we go into fall is always when I start to feel that, this is like almost the final stretch of, I really got to start watching all that stuff I missed, so I'm ready for the Top 10 show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 3 months before that. And
you better get on that.
Yeah, I got to get on that. So with that, it's been fun, Michelle. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me, David. It's been such an enjoyable time.
Of course. And we'll talk to everybody next week. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks.